All right, so we're going to get started. We're going to grab the board and start to just tap one foot up at a time, straddling. So you want to see the distance from the board to the floor, light on the feet, and now we're going to bring the right foot up, right foot down, back to straddle. We call this hot sand, so we're in the sand right now. The sand is hot, so those feet are going to start moving quickly right back up onto the board. We're just getting warmed up in the lower body, starting to get the upper body warmed up here, working through the core, tapping up and down, just getting used to coming up and off the board. So always light on the feet, trying to keep most of your weight in the upper body and the core. Now we're going to come up to standing. We're going to get right into it with the lower body. So just start to balance here into some squats. So this is an advanced session. We're going to move a little bit more quickly through this than we usually do. So we're going to drop our hips, keep those knees over the ankles, squat down. You can have 2 bands on the board, 1 band on the board, no bands on the board if you want, making it a little more unstable. This is really going to work your core, your lower body right now, and we're going to pick it up and work our balance. We're bringing our left knee to our left elbow and our right knee to our right elbow. We call these balance squats or sumo squats. So it's bringing one knee up to the exact side elbow and back down slowly. Taking it nice and slow. It's all about control. You don't want to drop too quickly. Control it with the core. So now let's come across the body. So just take it one step further. Bring that left knee to the right elbow. So we're just introducing the move here. We just want to get used to it. Take it nice and slow. Remember, we always want to put our foot right back where it came from. That's all about body control on the board here. We want to make sure the feet land exactly where they came from. All right, we're going to take it into a stretch here. Bring the arms out for an added balance challenge here. And let's switch it up. So the length of the board, you can see Mike here, he's about 6'4", so he's taking up the whole board. If you're not that tall, you may not take up the whole board, but you want to stretch out that leg, get the inner thigh. Just work your balance here as well, so our quad and our glute of that front leg are working. And bring it back forward. So we're going to go through this again. So hot sand, starting with hot sand. Start to warm it up, pick up the speed a little bit. You don't have to go so fast, but you can make sure that you start to get your heart rate elevated here. We're warming up your entire body in this move, but remember to be light on those feet, controlling everything from the core. It's always about control. We don't want to flail around or lose our control. So right back into those squats, just straight up and down. Try to stabilize that board, keep it centered. Try not to tip too far in one direction. Working all of the stabilizers around our joints, all of our lower body, and our core. All right, right back into those balance squats. So right knee, right elbow, and switch. Nice and controlled, slow. Always putting that foot right back where it came from. If we shift our weight too much and put the foot somewhere else, then we might tip the balance of the board. So let's come across the body. These are called cross balance squats. So bring that left knee to the right elbow, right knee to the left elbow. You can feel a little bit in the obliques here as we bring it across the core, primarily working our balance in our lower body here. You see that board moving all over the place, responding to our body weight. So we're going to stretch it out here a little bit. Bring that front leg forward, stretch, arms out, balance, breathe, get ready for the workout. We're going to pick it up a little bit in the next segment. So just a little bit of a stretch. We don't want to overstretch. Just make sure that the blood is flowing here through our muscles. And hold it. Excellent. All right, so we're going to drop down. We're moving on to the next part. Here we go, a little bit faster. So this is round 3. You can see Mike's really picking up the speed. We're doing half the amount of reps. Let's get right into those squats. And we're going to bring it into the balance squats. Up, down. So you don't have to go as fast as Mike here, but he's warmed up. He's ready to go. He's picked up the speed. Staying centered, staying balanced. It's all about the brain, all about the mind here, trying to control what our body's doing. Bringing them across, cross. Excellent. Now let's just hold it down, a little bit of a stretch. Last time. So we're getting used to moving on the board again. It may be a couple days since your last workout, a couple weeks, maybe you did one yesterday. You just want to reacquaint yourself with the board and how it moves. Stretch that last side here before we move on to some pop-up training. So we're going to get ready to train our pop-up, work our core, and get our upper body more involved. Now we're ready to take it to the pop-up, so let's come down onto the board, arms out, feet up. We're gonna bring it up to plank, and we're gonna bring the left foot up and do a slow lunge pop-up, we call it. So lunge all the way out to the side, a lateral lunge. Bring it all the way back down, foot back, drop down, and now we're gonna bring the right foot up. Slowly drag our fingertips on the rail of the board and lunge back. So we're using the whole board here. We're just getting used to the motion of the pop-up nice and slow, bringing that foot up underneath us. So a lot of flexibility, a lot of core strength to bring that foot up. And lunge it side to side. So stretch it out a tiny bit as we go, but the focus here is on making sure that we can bring the foot all the way up in a speedy motion and turning. We're going to start to pick up the speed here a little bit. This last one, bring it up. Now the feet are coming in and coming back. So watch Mike bringing in, back, and down. Now nice and light on the feet. You want to be really gentle on your toes, curl the toes under. Want to make sure that our core is controlling this motion so we're not pounding around on our feet. Let's do it again. In, back, controlled from the core. Now we're going to go all the way up into a really low pop-up. So let's pop up, but stay nice and low. And bring it back down. We're going the other way. Stay low. You can see that control. And stay low. Bring it back down. Excellent. So that's the hardest part, is staying nice and low on the board. We don't want to jump up too high. And back. And down. So now we're going to get those arms going. We're going to do a full pop-up here. So long strokes with the arms, as long as you can. Looking right where you're going and pop all the way up, right into some squats. Let's go for 5. And bring it back down. Get into that paddle, long strokes, reach, controlling it from the core. Look at that board moving around underneath you, reacting, balancing, and stabilizing. Let's go squats. 5, 4, drop it low. Bring it down, paddle. We're going to pick up the speed here, all the way up. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it down. And paddle quickly. Bring it up. And go 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Awesome. So the heart rate should really be going by now. We're practicing our pop-ups, our upper body, our core is now involved along with the lower body. Let's start that again. So nice and slow. I'm just taking a quick breather while we're doing this. We want to sprint during those pop-ups and bring it up the other direction, same as before. Pull it back and back down. Alright, so now we're going to pick up the pace. So let's go on to that second move where we bring the feet halfway in. So come up, this time a little twist in there, like we're doing a pop-up. So a little twist. Again, light on those feet. Careful on the knees, nice and light. Using the core to twist, not pounding on our knees or our feet. All the way down. Let's go in, twist, out, in, twist, out. In, twist, out, in, twist, out. Good, so nice and controlled from the core, staying balanced in the center of the board. Let's go into those low pop-ups with a grab. So pop all the way up, nice and low, and stay low, grab the board. Bring it back down. Let's go the other direction. Pop up, grab. Bring it down, control from the core on the way down, that's the most important part, and back down. Power on the way up, control on the way down. Get into a paddle. Sprint this time, long strokes. We're gonna pop all the way up. Here we go. And land, balance, right into our squats. So it's that quick, fast twitch movement, right between that pop-up, right into the squats. So we wanna land right in the center so we're ready to go into our squats without moving around. Let's go up and squat. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Excellent. And sprint. Let's do it again one more time each side. Up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drop it back down. Control on the way down and sprint. We're going to go for that last pop-up. Power and we're up. Let's go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we're going to move on to some cardio. Ready to pick up the pace. So we're going to start laying down on the board, so back down on our stomach, and we're going to start with some slow, long paddle strokes, reaching, shoulders forward, looking forward, scapula retracted back, breathing, and we're going to go explosive into a plank and drop to 2 push-ups. Drop it back down, paddle, and we're going to go right back into those push-ups, up, and back down, paddle, reach. Get your core involved here, side to side, and bring it back up. Let's go back down. So we're going to go for 3 push-ups on the next one. So paddle, reach forward, and down. 3, 2, and 1. Bring it down and paddle. Excellent. So it's all about that explosive motion up. Ready? And we're up and push up. 2, 1. Good. Drop it down and paddle. Reach with the paddles. Let's go. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Excellent. Now we're going to flip it over here. Second move. We're coming onto our backs. Hips right in the center of the board. Feet up in the air. And we're going to crunch up. So lift the head and chest up. Shoulder blades off the board. You're going to hold the board to stabilize, trying to keep it centered. Our core is working overtime, trying to maintain stability here. Every single tiny muscle in our core is working. So now we're going to stand it all the way up into a sup stance, and we're going to stand up paddle. So simulated stand up paddle squats. Each side, twist from the core, just the core. Keep our shoulders and our hips squared forward, twisting from the core. Bending those knees, trying to keep them right over the ankles and staying balanced. And our last move here is wave runners. So bringing those knees in. It's a good advanced cardio move. We can really get it going quick. You can feel it throughout the entire core and our triceps, our shoulders, everything, and get the heart rate up. All right, let's repeat that. So we're going to paddle into some push-ups. So long, strong paddles up into some push-ups, down and up. And paddle. And up, push up, back down and paddle. We're gonna go for 4 push-ups this time. Here we go, up, explode up, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it back down, paddle. We're gonna go for 5 here. Let's go, 5, 4, tighten the core, 2, 1. Excellent. Flip it over. Stabilize, center the hips on the board. We're going to bring our feet up. All right, head and chest come up. Now we're going to offer a challenge here to try to bring those hands off the board. So you have not as much stability here. And see, it's quite a struggle. So try to stabilize, stay centered, bring it up. Excellent. All about focus and compensating. So your abs are compensating for you each way the board tips. Now let's come back up, stand up paddle squats. Let's go for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Hips back. And we're going to bring it down for our last exercise in the circuit here, our wave runners. So bring the most knees in quick. Control it from the core, light on the feet, shoulders right over the wrists, looking straight down at the board. All right, let's do one more round a little faster here. Let's go. Arms get going. Up into some push-ups. 5. Good. Let's go for 5 more here. 5 more push-ups. And ready, bring it up. 5, 4, squeeze those triceps. 2, and 1. Good, now flip over. Center the hips. Make sure we're nice and centered. If you need to scoot forward a little bit. Legs up. Let's try to do a full V up this time if we can. Let's go for 5. So arms over the head, or you can keep them on the board if that's where you are. But the advanced version, just like Mike's doing right now. So it's a struggle to stay centered, especially when you're tall. You're taking up that whole board. So keep those hips in the center and bring it up. There we go. Let's go 2 more. The entire core involved. An unstable surface. Excellent. Now let's stand it up. The last set, stand up paddle squats here. Weight in the heels. Hips back. 8. Good. A little twist in there. Controlling that board. And our last set of wave runners here. Bring those knees in. Let's sprint all the way to the finish. Bring them in, bring them in. Control from the core. Fast, fast. Let's go 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Stretch it back. We're going to slow it down now for a little bit. We're going to start this strength sequence off the board. So we want to have our fingertips pointing forward towards our hips. We're going to lift our hips, bring them off the board, engage the core, squeeze the glutes, press through the heels, and we're going to push up. So these are dips. Make sure those elbows are coming straight back behind the shoulders and squeeze up through the triceps. So the board's going to move around. It's going to make it a little more challenging for you. Try to stay centered. Try to engage your core throughout this movement. You can do it as slow as you need to. So now we're going to step up for our second move, just squats right here. So we're just going to do some really slow squats. We call these surf squats. We're in surf stance facing sideways instead of facing forward. Drop them down really slowly. Try to stabilize that board on the way down. And squeeze back up. Nice and slow. Knees right over the ankles. And balance here. You can rock the board a little bit for an added challenge. Get the ankles into it. We're going to come back down. This time with our dips, we're going to lift our left foot up in the air, point the toe, and drop it down. So this is just going to add to that instability. Firm plant through our right heel on the floor, squeezing the triceps, extending all the way up. Now let's walk it back up into that surf squat stance. This time we're going to put most of our weight in our right leg, and we're going to try to lift our left. So this is a challenge. Try it a couple times until you get your balance. Try to stay low. Try to balance on that one leg. You can see trembling here, so you should be trembling a little bit. Just try to focus, try to hold it, and bring it down. Excellent. Now let's come back down. We're going to switch up those feet. So these are slow movements. If you need to take your time, that's fine. We'll push up, squeeze through the triceps, extend the elbows, pointing that right foot. We're going to go for 10 each time here. And now walk it back up slowly. It's all about strength and stability. This time, weight in that left foot. We're going to drop it down low, bend the knee, and lift the right foot up. Balance. There you go. It might take a couple times to get it. You really want to make sure you're bending that left knee, that you can feel it in your glute, your leg. Balance, stability. It's all about body control. Excellent. Let's come back down for our last one here. We're going to alternate feet. So we're right back into that dip position. Working our core, working our triceps, our shoulders. We're going to alternate feet this time. Bring left up and right up. Dipping down each time, squeezing it back up. Now walk it back up for our last one. This time we're going to hold each side. We're going to alternate sides. So let's start with all of our weight there and our right foot. Lift up the left. Hold it for a few seconds here and switch. So you can go at your own pace here. We're going to try. You can see it's pretty challenging. You see Mike falling off, so be careful. Always focus on what you're doing. This is really going to push your fitness to the next level. It's trying to control the movements of your body. Every muscle in your body will be working. Engage the core, breathe, take your time switching legs here. Remember, when you're in the position, when you're lifted your leg up, try to bend into that standing leg even more. You'll see it trembling. So it's working all the stabilizers around your joints as well. Excellent. Now just separate the feet a little bit, back into some slow squats. So we're going to go really slowly here. Our legs should be feeling it. We worked each of them singularly. We worked them on their own. Now we're going to work them together. Still engaging the core, dropping the hips back, taking it slow. It's about control. You want to make sure each movement is purposeful. And hold it down. Squeeze up slowly. Excellent. We should really start to feel that in the legs and in the triceps. Okay, we're back to cardio, so we're going to pick up the speed a little bit here. We have 4 exercises to be done in rounds. We're going to start with a double paddle. So you can see Mike, he's really reaching forward. You can see that board underneath him shifting around. So you really want to reach on those. Our second is a burpee. So just a plain burpee, we're going to bring arms in, feet into hands, and stand up. That's number 2. Let's do one more here. So you always want to be careful on those feet on the way back. And now when we pop up, we're going to do some squats. So arms overhead, sup squat, stand up paddle stance facing forward. Just drop the hips back. Try to keep those knees over the ankles. So that's our third move, is those squats. And our fourth move, we're coming down to straddle the board, light on the feet here. We call these surf skaters. So think of someone on ice skates going laterally, side to side. So 1 foot up, 1 foot down, and you want to be extending that leg back when you put it on the ground. Now let's do it again. Double paddle. Get ready here. We're going to go right into a burpee. Feet in and up, back down, feet back, feet in and up, back down, feet back, controlling it. Light on those feet. It's all about control through the core. That's where you're going to see all the results. Feet in and stand up and back. We're going to go into some squats here. So arms overhead, drop it down, squeeze it back up. 4, and bring it back down. Last one, surf skaters. So 1 foot up, 1 foot down, and that full extension back on the feet. Remember, if you're on carpet, that's great. On a soft floor, if you're on a hard floor, be really light on those feet. Be careful. You want to really control it. Now let's go back into it, double paddle. So get those arms extending forward and back, get them moving. Try to get the heart rate up here a little bit, right into our burpees. Up, feet back, feet in, stand up. So we're really controlling it here on a small surface. This is working the whole body right now. And you may not be going as fast as Mike, or you may be going faster. It's all at your own pace, but just get these 4 moves in for total body workout. So drop those hips down, knees try to stay over the ankles, try not to lean forward, core is engaged, and bring it down. Surf skaters. Here we go. Bring them up and over, up and over, up and over. Controlled through the core, through the upper body. Keep tapping those feet. Alright, we're going to do a couple of each here. So 1 and 1 burpee, 1 squat, down for 2 surf skaters. And bring it down. 1 paddle, 1 burpee, squat, and back down for surf skaters. Excellent. Let's do it again. Drop down, paddle, burpee, squat, and drop it down, skaters. And that's it for our cardio sprint here. So it was a quick one. It was nice and fast, and now we're going to slow it down for some strength and stability. The first one we're going to start with, we're going to lay down on our stomachs. It's a little bit of flexibility, a little bit of strength, just stability here through the core. We're going to grab our ankles and try to lift up through the chest and try to kick up. Try to lift those knees off the board. You can feel it in our back here. Try to stay stable on the board in the center. So you can move back a little bit if you need to. And now we're going to flip over, reverse the position here, and we're going to reach up towards our toes and try to hold it. So a nice V up, hold. Remaining stable here, engaging every muscle in the core to stay stable. Let's flip back over. Grab those feet. Lift up through the chest. Kick up through the feet. Try to lift the knees off the board. Deep breaths. Hold it. Try not to rock too much side to side. So you see your muscles are compensating here for the tip. So it tips and then we have to engage and tip back and try to stay stable. So let's flip it back over. Hips right to the center and lift up for a hold. Hold it here. Reach for those toes. And flip it over. We're going to move right right to the center of the board each time we do this. We want to make sure that we're not too far forward, too far back. And just take a deep breath in and kick up and each time try to lift a little bit through the toes into your hands. And come back, up into plank, on the elbows. We're going to come all the way up with the left foot forward into a lunge. So our second move here, another strength-based, slow focused movement. So you can lunge even a little slower than Mike is here. We want to make sure that that front knee is staying over your front ankle. The board's going to be wobbling, pressing through the front heel, and dropping the back knee down to the board. Now switch it up slowly. It can be hard to find the center here. So find your center, place your foot slowly, weight in the front heel, and press down. And drop the knee and squeeze back up, keeping your core tight here and good posture. Excellent. Just trying to remain stable on the board. Let's bring it back to the other foot, left foot up. We should really start to feel it. Just doing these lunges on an unstable surface makes them a lot more challenging. Drop the back knee down slowly. Just keep dropping the back knee down as slow as you can, pressing through that front heel and hold. Good, now switch. You can do it either like Mike, nice and fast switch, or slowly, trying to find the center, pressing through the front heel, dropping the back knee down. Again, really, really slow, focusing on the downward movement here and pushing up. Tightening your core, making sure that we're staying right in the center of the board, aligned down the middle. Couple more, and now bring it back, and we're moving on to core. Alright, so we're going to start the core segment seated on the board, hips right in the widest point of the board. Find your center, lay down, press your lower back down, and grip the rails right by your hips, and just bring your legs out straight and then lift up into the air. So bend the knees, point out, bring the knees in, and lift the hips up towards the ceiling. So when we bring our legs out here to parallel, we want to make sure that our lower back is pressed down on the board and not arching. We're trying to build our lower abs. And right at the top, you can lift up for that added push. And now bring the legs up, and we're going to try to bring our arms off and reach up. So reach for the knees, and then reach for the ankles. This can get a little challenging not holding onto the board, especially the taller you get. It's a small surface to work on, so we really want to make sure we have a lot of body control and focus. It's going to get every little part of our abs. So up to the knees, up to the ankles. Breathe out on the way up, breathe in on the way down. Just a little crunch movement. Alright, so recenter yourself on the board. We're going to come across the body this time. So for some crunches, hands to the back of your head and bring opposite elbow to opposite knee. Again, this is a challenging one. There's no points of contact with the board other than our hips. Working the entire core and obliques. Now recenter yourself if you moved at all during that. We want to make sure we're right at the midpoint of the board. Bring our arms and legs out. This time we're going to repeat without holding the board. So bring those knees up and bring them out. You can see this one gets a little bit harder. So if you need to have your hands on the board just to stay centered, that's totally fine. You're still going to get the same ab work. This just takes it up a little bit. So bring the knees in and kick up, lift, and bring them out. Bring them in and up, lift at the top. Excellent. All right, so again, you have to recenter yourself. Just scooch around right to the middle. Bring your legs up, and we'll do it again. So reach up and down. This time try to grab and climb up each leg. So it's a little tiny movement in the abs, and you're really going to feel and see the results doing this move. Climb up each leg, one hand right behind the knee, and then one up to the ankle. Little crunches, little movements. Alright, we're coming back across for our third move, our obliques. Try to control your legs, control your upper body here, crossing the core, meeting in the middle. You see that board moving around underneath you. Imagine doing this on the floor. It's going to be a lot more challenging when the floor starts moving. Excellent. Bring it down, stretch it back, stretch out upper body, and stretch out the core. Time for some planks. So we're just going to start with some basic planks here. This is the advanced session, so we'll take it up a notch in a second, but we just want to get right into that plank position on the elbows. Bring our elbows to the front pads, our feet all the way to the back. We're up on our toes, toes curled under. Tighten the core. You can bring your gaze down so your neck is in alignment with your spine, our back is flat. We're engaging the entire core. We can start to rock the board side to side, what we call body surfing, getting into those obliques in your sides and tipping it side to side, maintaining control with your core. And hold it in the center. So we want to try to have our shoulders right over our elbows here. And just keep focusing on maintaining that plank position. Now bring each hand up. We're going to come up into a plank on the arms. So we want to turn our wrists out slightly, externally rotate the shoulders, grip the rails of the board, toes curled under. Hold it, and now we're going to do what we call the scorpion. So we're going to bring one leg up and over, twist. So open up the hips. So your left leg comes up and we open up to the left and hold. Bring it back. Now the right leg comes up. And we're going to open up, look to the right. Hips are open. Control it here. Just hold the board steady. So you want to make sure we're not tipping too far and pulling the board with us. We want to maintain that center of the board. It's just at an angle. And now bring it up the other direction. Left leg up, bend that left knee, open up the hips, look to the left, hold it. It's all about the hold and the control here. It's the most important thing. And bring it up, right side, right leg up, open up the hips to the right, and bring it back down. Excellent. So now bring it right back down to our elbows. Up into a plank, and we're going to bring our left knee to our left elbow, bring it back, and our right knee to our right elbow. So those elbows are under our shoulders, our hips are staying level, our core is staying engaged, and the knee is coming out and down. Getting into our sides here, slow and controlled, just like Mike. Bring it out slowly. You can try to do a little hold each time. Back down to the elbows, tighten the core, realign the plank. We're going to do this again. So hold it, then start tipping, body surfing. Tip it left, tip it right. So it's all about control when we're tipping. We don't want to lean all of our body weight to one direction or the other. We don't want to flail around. We want to do it slow and controlled. Bring it back up. Grip the board, rotating the shoulders out. Come up the plank. And bring that left leg up, bend the knee, and turn. Open up the hips to the left. Pull it with the core. Slowly keep opening up, leaning more towards your right. Looking to the left. Bring it back down. Right leg comes up. Turn and hold. So just focus here on the holding it right here, pulling that board up into the tail. Bring the left leg up, bend the knee. Open up the hips towards the left. Look to the left. Lean to the right, not too far. And switch. Excellent. Now drop it down. Stretch it back a little bit. Go to our last move, bringing the left knee out to the left elbow, right knee out to the right elbow. This time we can do it a little bit faster from our hands. So this makes it more of a cardio plank movement. And drop it down. So we'll finish with a challenge. Drop it down to our elbows. Bring it back up, one arm at a time, and out, 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 out. Good. Left to left, right to right. Controlled. And drop it down to the elbows. Hold it and stretch it back. Okay, get ready for the final surf session. We're ready to get right into it. We're going to start with a hop up and over the board. So we like to pretend we're on the beach here. We're hopping up and over some rocks. So grab the board, hop over, controlling with our upper body. So we want to make sure we're not landing too hard on those feet. Now jump on the board and see it moving around and get going with some long paddles. So those arms reach out forward. Try to look where we're going and reach. Really get into it here. Get your cardio. We want to bring our hands forward and back. Now dive under a wave. So duck dives, pull it back. Let's do it again. You can do it single foot or 2 feet. Single foot's a little harder. Now paddle up on the knees. We're still paddling out. We're going to paddle from the knees using our core here. And we made it. So let's go into an ab movement while we're out here waiting for some waves. Starfish crunches. Everything out to the side and everything up. Controlling with the core. Bring it up and slowly lower down. Bring it up and down. Excellent. All right, we're going to get ready to catch a wave here. Straddle the board, back it up a little bit, look over your shoulder. So this is that fast sprint. Dive down, get the arms going fast, sprint. We're gonna get ready to pop up. There we go. And hold it. Carve that out a little bit. And single leg squats, one on each side. So you can tap the floor in between each if you want to. Again, being really light on those feet if you're not on the carpet. Nice and soft and controlled. And bring it back down. Let's go paddle. Sprint. Pick up the speed. Duck dive. Pull it back. Let's do it again. Paddle. Bring it up. Duck dive. Here we go. Paddle. Bring it up. Duck dive. Under the wave. Get it going fast here. These are moves we know how to do. Now come to the knees. And here we go. Paddle. We're still going. Drawing the core in here, paddling through the water, and let's go to that ab move. Oh, look, we got a guest in the shot. Bring him up. Let's see what we can do here. All right, stand up. So let's finish it off on a high note. A lot of balance. So if you have a dog in the family, you can put him on the board, that added challenge. See Mike's doing it here with an extra 60 pounds on the board, moving around. So those single leg squats, dropping it down, controlling it through the quad, through the glute. Let's switch legs. Stay stable. It's a little harder. You got someone moving around underneath you. Drop that leg down. Again, you can touch the floor between each if you need to, or just hold that leg up, elevated in the air. And let's hold that squat. Everyone stay still, stable. And we're going to drop our right knee down into some lunges and kick back. So a final little challenge move here. We've got the heart rate up. We're kicking back and switch. Drop it down. Kick back. Let's do a few more. Kick back. Should be breathing a little heavy. And we're ready to cool it down. So I'd say watch one of the cool down workouts under the cool down category on the network. And great work. Awesome job.